If every restaurant employee fought each other in a tournament, who would actually win? And today I'm finding that out because I made a bracket of 10 different restaurants and we're gonna see which employees survive and which ones get their ass beat. And if you like this type of content, give me a like and subscribe because there will be more tournaments coming this way. And if you have a suggestion for a tournament, let me know in the comments. Alright, now let's meet the teams. At the 1 seed, we got Waffle House. The 2 seed is Popeyes. The 3 seed, McDonald's. The 4 seed, Church's Chicken. And the 5 seed, Mexican restaurant. 6 seed is Golden Corral. 7th is Denny's. 8th is Bojangles. 9th is Wendy's. And then rounding out our top 10 is Chick-fil-A. So this is a single elimination bracket, and out of respect for Waffle House and Popeyes, they automatically have a first round bye. Alright, let's get into this first matchup. We got Bojangles versus Wendy's. I think this is one of the most even matchups. You got very similar employee types. I want to take Bojangles here, right? Because I think they deal with more people. But also, if you've been to Bojangles, you know some of the employees there, they really will beat the fuck out of you because they don't have the patience for anything. But they do have a higher standard of service, so I'm going to go Bojangles. Alright, moving on to the next matchup, we got Denny's versus Chick-fil-A. Now, do I think this is a close matchup? No, alright? I think Denny's wins this very easily. However, I do think that on the right day, Chick-fil-A could upset almost anybody, alright? Because, you know, in this case, Chick-fil-A, they're very organized, they have a lot of people, and they have some loyalty, alright? Now, just imagine you're getting your ass beat, you go womp, 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 and you hear, my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. That's a very real possibility on the right day. But I think Denny's, it's just like white trash, you got a bunch of crackheads there. I think Denny's wins this easily. Alright, moving on to round 2, we got Bojangles versus Waffle House. Now, you know that one meme where it's like supernova versus dying ant? This is exactly what I think this is, alright? As much as I want to support Bojangles, Waffle House has a vendors, alright? We all know what Waffle House is. The employees there, they will take a smoke break, then go beat your ass. They will cook eggs in a pan, then beat your ass with the pan. Waffle House employees, you don't mess with them, alright? So Waffle House easily wins this one. Alright, now this next matchup, we got Church's Chicken versus a Mexican restaurant. In this, they're very different, but they're also very similar, right? Because when you look at a Church's Chicken, I've never seen one in a good area, right? And the employees there, they do not play around. They really do have that side to them, like, yo, I've been in the streets, like, I know how this shit works, like, do not mess with me. And when you look at the Mexican restaurant, they're, you know, usually a family type of thing, and they have a lot of employees, so there's a lot of loyalty there. And the employees in Mexican restaurants are really friendly, but they do have a side to them where they will beat your ass. They're being really friendly because everybody else is being friendly to them. But if you start acting out, if you start pressing anybody, they can really handle business. So with that being said, I'm going to take the upset here, all right? I'm taking Mexican restaurant over Church's Chicken. Alright, this next matchup, we got McDonald's versus Golden Corral. Now, McDonald's, they got some really heavy hitters. Now, the employees at McDonald's, it's either like a bunch of teenagers or it's a bunch of people from the hood or people that know how to fight, alright? And that's what I love about McDonald's because they make the best food, okay? Now, these employees, they deal with a lot of people, especially a lot of, you know, crackheads or just like crazy people on a day-to-day basis. So they do have a side to them where they know how to handle business and they're not going to be the nicest people, but that's okay. Now, with Golden Corral, you may be wondering, why is Golden Corral on here? Who the f goes to Golden Corral? Exactly. That's exactly why they're on this, okay? Because last time I went to Golden Corral was like 2 years ago. That place was so run down. The employees didn't care, and that makes the perfect fighting employee. So McDonald's versus Golden Corral, I'm going to go with a crazy upset here. I'm picking Golden Corral, right? Their employees do not care. They don't want to be at work, and those types of people are the most dangerous because they have nothing to lose, all right? And I think in a fight, while McDonald's employees have that side to them to where they will fight you, to where they, you know, don't really back down to anything, I think Golden Corral employees are sleepers. I think on the right day, and I think this is the right day, I think they upset. Okay, now the next matchup, Denny's versus Popeyes. I don't really think this one's close. I don't really want to spend that much time on it. I think Popeyes wins this very easily. I mean, like, have you seen a video of Popeyes employees fighting? That's enough said, all right? And while Denny's employees do deal with crackheads and a bunch of crazy people, it's nothing like what Popeyes does. All right, now the next matchup, Waffle House versus a Mexican restaurant. This could be the fight of the year, maybe fight of the century even, because you have two totally different types of employees, but they both know how to whoop ass, all right? Like I said before, Waffle House employees, they, will go on a smoke break, then go beat your ass. They will cook up the greatest eggs and hash browns of your life and then go fight someone because they forgot to pay. And then the Mexican restaurant, as I said before, there's a lot of loyalty there, but also there are some people in that restaurant you do not want to mess with, all right? I'm telling you right now, some of their cooks, some of the people working behind the counter, do not mess with them. But with that being said, I'm going to take Waffle House, all right? I just think Waffle House is like the Avengers, okay? It's going to be really hard to beat them. I think a Mexican restaurant maybe goes to a best of 7 with them. Actually, I think they go to a best of 7 with them. I just don't think they have enough to get it done. I'm taking Waffle House. All right, now this next matchup, Popeyes versus Golden Corral. I'm going to take Popeyes here pretty easily. I don't think it's that close, but I do think Golden Corral puts up a better fight than what people would expect. All right, now for the championship round, we got Waffle House versus Popeyes. I feel like we all kind of saw this one coming. It's the 1 seed versus the 2 seed, Waffle House versus Popeyes. We both know their employees can fight. Now, I think this is a really good matchup. I think this goes to a best of 7 because you have Waffle House employees who you have young people, old people, crazies, non-crazies, versus Popeyes. I feel like typically, you more young people. So I think this fight is interesting because I think Popeyes has the stamina that Waffle House doesn't have, but Waffle House has the strength that Popeyes doesn't have, all right? And in both of these cases, everybody from the cashier to the manager to the cook, they all will beat your ass. So there's not really a difference in terms of numbers and overall fighting, but like I said, that strength versus stamina thing and experience, I think that all factors into it. And I'm going to take Waffle House here, all right? I know it's the 1 seed. I know it's the easy option, but I just don't think anybody can beat Waffle House. I mean, the videos I've seen of people just getting their ass beaten by the entire Waffle House staff, the cooks fighting each other, the managers fighting people, the waiters fighting people, everybody at Waffle House fights. And I think that combined with just the overall strength of Waffle House, I just think they win over Popeyes. And I know it's a close matchup, but I don't know how close it is. I think it goes to a game 7, but it's one of those where it's like, damn, Waffle House really just let it go a few games. I think in reality, Waffle House really could win this in 5, but I think it'll go to best of 7, and I think Waffle House takes the cake. So let me know if you guys agree with this, and if there are any other tournaments that you guys would like to see, let me know in the comments. And with that being said, I'll see y'all later.